everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Reed Wilson, and as you know, I am the challenge girly, and I try to challenge myself every week to do something out of the ordinary. So a couple of weeks ago, I did a $5 meal challenge where I challenged myself to do a meal for $5, and everybody really seemed to like that because it is January and we're all trying to, be budget friendly because it's the new year and we just had the holiday season. I thought that I would do luxury on a budget. So one of the things that I honestly did during COVID is I learned how to do everything at home. Haircut, dye my hair, nails, pedicures, waxing, makeup, like everything that you can think of that people pay for usually, I learned how to do at home. So I thought that I would show you guys that today. At the end, I'll break down how much it costs. Now, disclaimer, one of the things that I do is I wear extensions sometimes. And so I bought my extensions like forever ago. I have those, but I will see if I can find an equivalent pair, I guess equivalent set of everything that I did do. Also a disclaimer, I have the ability to buy professional hair products just because of some of the certifications that I have done. So I will put that breakdown, but I'll also do a breakdown of like if you have to go to like a drugstore or whatever, just so that you can get a good idea of what you can. Now keep in mind, I'm not telling you to do this. I'm just saying that there are ways that you can actually still do luxurious things on a budget. I will let you know right now though, one of the things that I do spend money on, and I did during COVID too, because you were allowed to, was pedicures. I can do my own pedicures. It's just not as much fun. So I do go get one of those every 6 weeks, which in the location I am in only cost me $65 every 6 weeks. And I don't have to go sit every 6 weeks if I don't want to. Anyways, I just thought I would get those out of the way, but today's video is essentially gonna be that. I'm gonna show you all the luxurious things that I do at home to make myself feel and, well, in my head, look better, and I don't have to pay a crazy amount of money. And again, at the end, I'll do a comparison so that you can see how much money I am saving by doing these things at home. So let's get into the video. Okay, we're gonna start with the one thing that I do luxury that is cheap, and I do at-home lash extensions. They stay on for about 10 days. I can buy 3-4 months worth for the price of one set of lash extensions. So I'm just gonna kind of show you how I apply them. Yeah, that's about it, so that you can just see. And that's why I'm usually wearing lashes in my videos. I always start by curling my eyelashes. And then it comes with a two-sided, like, I guess, glue in a way. The first one looks like a mascara, and you actually put it on like a mascara. And I just evenly coat it so every lash has it covered. And then the second step is to use the other side. And this one is just a white glue, but it's got a little pointy. It's got like a little pointy end on it. And you just go to the bottom of the lashes because that's where the extension actually sticks. And then I just kind of slowly bring it up. And then they just come in these little sleeves. You can see all the lashes on them. And you just take one at a time. And I always start with the middle of my lash line so that I can get it even. And you just stick it just at the underneath side, right at your lash line. You don't want it too low or else it'll bug you, especially if you are gonna sleep with them on. Now, none of this is sponsored, but I do get my lashes from Lashify, and they work great. I really like them. And then I just do the outer and then the inner. So I just do the next one next to it, like so. And then I'll do this one. So it does take practice. And then I start with the inners just so that I can make sure they're even. The inner eyelash. And again, I just line it up with the other eyelash I've already put on. So that first eyelash is really the most important eyelash because it actually bases the line. And I use size 12, 3 size 12 on the outside and then 2 size 10 in the inside. And you just got to find out what works best for you. This works best for me. And then once it touches, because the glue is tacky, It goes on super easy, as you can tell.
And then you just crimp them with the application tool. And you kind of just hold it there for about 10 seconds. And then I do the mid-lash too, just to make sure they stay. And if you need to, you can press the corners like so that they stay on.
I've been doing it for so long that I don't really need to do that anymore. It just takes practice. But yeah, so that's something that I do. And it cost me about 150 Canadian for 12 weeks worth, which I used to pay 150 just for a fill. So that's one of the luxury things that I do. And let's move on to the next. Now the fun's really gonna begin. I'm going to get rid of this. My eyebrows aren't terrible, but they're not great either. So all I usually do is I go straight up here and I just make a dot. Straight up here, make a dot. And my eyebrows don't come in enough, clearly. And then I take the outer straight up here, and that's my arch. And then from here, and that's the end. As you can see here, I'm just brushing up the eyebrow just so that I can see all those under hairs where my eyebrow bone is. And then I just apply a very small amount of wax. I don't want to get too much in because that could be disastrous. And then from there, I just add a small cloth or tape so that you can just rub it on a few times. And then I just pull it off and there you go. I have waxed my eyebrows.
Well, we'll see. I've been doing it for a while. I don't go and pay for it, but it's never perfect, which is why I fill them in. Now, I do own the wax machine, which, yes, costs money. I get that. You also don't have to do this at home. You can pluck. Like, that's also a thing. I'm just lazy. And then they'll be red for a day. But then now, after I do that, I always make sure to do a facial so that I don't get like ingrown hairs and things like that. So that's my next luxury item. Normally I actually do this in the bath because it's pretty messy, but seeing as I can't video that, we'll just do it out here. I get all this stuff on Amazon. So again, not sponsored, but I'll put the products that I'm using in the description so that you can go find them if you want. Like I use this, it's just a micro scrub. So the first thing I do is I get my face wet, clearly. And because I'm doing this like this, we're just gonna use a cloth. And then I just take a little bit of this out, put it on my finger, and then I just go around my face. I get my hands a little wet. Again, I'm normally in the bath, so this isn't as, but I just go around just all over my face. And then I use one of these micro scrubber type things. This one I didn't get on Amazon, but I'm sure you can find one. I'll see if I can find one and put a link in. And then I just go around very soft like, and it's gonna make a mess because again, normally I do this in the bath or the shower. And I just go along everywhere, every nook or cranny, and you don't press, just lightly, it does the work for you because you don't want it to be too harsh on the skin. And you can go around a couple of times, whatever you want. But this is how I get rid of all that dead skin. And if I had the money to go to a facialist, I would do that too. This is just, you know, it's January, not a lot of people have a lot of money, so why don't we just do it at home if we can? So I'm not sure if this is really a challenge, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break down the cost at the end of this to see how much I've saved by not going to all those expensive places. I started doing like what you would call an at-home spa, like in my early age. Like I must have been a teenager before it was even cool. Mostly because I was cheap and I liked to do it, it was fun, which is why I also took all the aesthetic training. And then the next thing I do is I do a face steam. So it just steams like this, and it is steam, so it's hot. So I just go around my face for like 5 to 10 minutes, just opening up the pores before I put on a mud mask. Now I don't do the mud mask very often, again, because it dries out my skin. And you don't want to dry out your skin. I'm just do it every so often. But again, I'm not trying to be a spa. I'm just trying to give me the effects of going to a spa sometimes. Now I don't put the mud mask all over my face because one, it dries it out. And two, I only do like the places where I seem to get the most issues. And you just leave it on until it dries. The luxury today continues. So it's not quite dry, but it's driving me crazy, so I am gonna take it off. And then the last and final thing that I do before I do my regular routine, I'm gonna put on a mask and an eye mask, under eye mask, and let that soak in. And then I'll do my daily like moisturizing routine. And I don't know how to put these on. I put it on so that it goes directly under my eye. I see a lot of people do this differently, but I don't really care. And then I just throw on the mask. Okay, and I let this sit on here for 20 minutes. Okay, other luxury things that I do at home is I do dye my hair and cut it at home because my aunt was a hairdresser and she taught me how to do it during COVID. And so I just continued doing that. And so one of the things I'm gonna attempt to do is, as you can see, my hair is dark. I haven't always been dark, it's just I went back to my natural color. I was blonde forever and ever, amen. So I'm actually gonna take these extensions of mine and I'm going to try and dye them so I can start wearing them again, because right now that would not match. To dye the extensions, I just mixed up the dye, and then once they were all applied, I just let it sit for about a half an hour. Then I rinsed it out, washed it like I would normal hair, and that was about it. And this was the final result once I was done. Here's where the real fun began. I started dyeing my roots. I always start with the roots, and then I just section them off, do the roots, apply a little bit on each side, and then once the roots are done, I just apply it onto the rest of my hair. And then once I have it on the rest of my hair, I just tie it up and I let it sit there for about a half an hour before I rinse it out. Once it was rinsed out, I was kind of impressed as to how well the hair dye took. I do use this color quite a bit, so it's not like it was a big shock to me. And now it was going to be time for me to do the haircut. So I start by just sectioning off my hair. I start with my ears. So I section off where my ears are and I pull that forward and tie it off. Do that to both sides. And truly I just go straight down the back, down the middle to get the back separated. It's never perfect, but the whole point of this is just to cut. Now I am going to be cutting off a lot of my hair today, mostly because I haven't done a haircut in a really long time and my hair is damaged. So to do that, I just took off that first section, figured out how short I wanted to cut, and I tied that one off. And then each of the sections get measured with that one to make sure they're the same side. And then I just cut it off right above the elastic. Then I go in and I just texturize it a little bit just so it doesn't look so blunt. And then I just did some framing around my face very gently. Now again, I was taught by a hairdresser how to do it, and that was the end result. Here it is blow dried, and now I'm going to put in my extensions. I section off my hair to put in my extensions. I always do just below the top of my ears, and I put in a row of 4. Now they're clip-ins, they're not like sew-in or anything like that. And then once that's in, I do the next section up about an inch up, and then I do 3 clips on this side, and then 3 clips on the other side just to even it out so it doesn't look so choppy. And the reason I like these extensions and the clip-ins because I can take them in and out every day. I don't have to wear them in all the time. And I know you can still see where my hair was cut, but this is what I do. I curl it together so that everything looks the same. And then once it's done, that's the final result. Essentially, it looks like I did not cut my hair at all. And that would be the point. And that's the back, so you can see that it's all even out and you can't really tell. Okay, now we've done everything else. I got the extensions in, I've cut my hair, I've done the eyebrows, I did a facial. So the last thing that I do to be luxury on a cheap budget
is I buy press-on nails that are, well, reusable. I get them from a company, again, not sponsored, but I get them from a company called Base Nails in Canada, and they're amazing, and I love them because I can take them on and put them off as much as I want. Now, if I glue them, they'll stay on for roughly 10 days, but most of the time, because again, I have ADHD, so I get bored, I just use the little stickers so that I can actually take them on and take them off pretty much every day. I'll show you how I do that. The first thing I do is I prep the nail by just I push my cuticles back, and then I just lightly file the top of my nail like so. And then I just do that for all of them. And then after I get all 10 done, I just wash my hands so that there's no dust on it. And then you just figure out which size of sticker works best for your fingernails. I do this so much that I already know which size works, and I have my whole tray of nails. Okay, now I have all the stickers on. All I do is kind of just like warm up the stickers so that it stays a little better. I just kind of rub each finger individually, and I am gonna go with these cute little pink polka dot ones. They've got little pink and white polka dots on them. The only trouble is I've gotta find them. And then you just peel off the top sticker. Sometimes it's a little difficult because you got stickers on the other fingers. And then you just line it up to your cuticle, push it on. Straighten it out if you need to. I'll do all of them and show you the end. The key to keep them on all day or multiple days when you're using the stickers is just make sure you press it and hold it for about 20 seconds each. And throughout the day, I also do this just to make sure they stay sealed. Okay, so that is the stem. How cute are they? So they stay on all day, or if you do glue them, they will stay on for about 10 days. So that saves me a butt ton of money because a set from this company is only about $35 to $45. They're reusable. They are made with acrylic, but use real nail polish as well. So they stay on and they are really tough. Like they look and feel like real acrylic nails or false nails like when you go to a salon. So that is just another trick that I have. Okay, you guys, that's it for the video. As you can see, I do a lot of things at home myself, including hair extensions. I do have to say though that with the extensions, I will probably, the next time I have to go get hair dye and do this again, I'll probably dye the extensions again, just because a couple of the pieces I can still see the blonde. So not a big deal, but the fact that I can start wearing them again, great success on that. This is the breakdown. Just a disclaimer, keep in mind all of these prices are Canadian and in the location I'm in right now, so they might not reflect the dollars in your location. And as you can see, I save a ton of money just by doing this at home. I'm not saying you have to go do this. All I'm saying is that as a challenge, I was able to do all the things that I hear everybody does at a very huge fraction of the cost. Yes, it is more time consuming for me. However, I have to say the hair dye situation, probably not, because I have a lot of hair and I know that when I go to a salon, I'm there for 3 hours. And if I was actually getting extensions put in, I'm getting even more time. So some of it, yes, takes more time, but again, if I was going out and getting actually a set of acrylic nails every 6 weeks or however long it is that you go, that's also like an hour to 2 hours out of a day, whereas this took me 10 minutes. So there is some time, but it does save me a lot of money. As a challenge, I would say that I was extremely successful, mostly in the dyeing my extensions piece of it. And if you guys would like to see more of these kind of videos, I'm not really sure what else I can do, but I am hearing you. I have all of the suggestions that you have given me. I will be doing some more cooking challenges. I will be doing some more pet challenges. So I am seeing them and I am hearing you. I have a huge list, so I gotta get through them. So if you're not seeing the video that you suggested pop up right away, doesn't mean it's not coming. I just wanna say thank you to everybody that has been subscribing to my channel. It means the world to me. And I really, really appreciate it. I also really like interacting, so please comment. I will respond most of the time. And if I don't respond right away, it just might be that we're in a different time zone. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure you're subscribed because about 80% of you don't subscribe right now. So hit that big red button at the bottom. If you liked this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and turn on your notification bell so you never miss a video from me. And that's gonna be it for me this week, you guys. So when life feels gray, let's find the black and white balance.